Alright, my name's Ethan Gross. This is my audience. That's my beautiful mom, Janetta.
Hi.
This is my girlfriend, Tara. And Chase.
Hey.
And they're here to listen to me explain why capital punishment should be outlawed. Now, the United States is the last truly democratic nation where capital punishment is still legal, which kind of seems a little off, in my opinion. If we're supposed to be one of the world's powers and we're supposed to be setting an example for the rest of the world, then why are we justifying murder of our own citizens because of how we feel? If we allow our citizens to murder based on a specific emotion or based off of, past experiences or because they're angry, then what makes us any different than, the jihadist extremists who decided to bomb the World Trade Centers? We're murdering for what we believe. We're doing what we feel is right, and in doing so, we're taking the life of someone who may or may not deserve it. I do agree that a murderer, if he was in fact a murderer, should be killed. I don't feel that it's right for him to be able to continue the rest of his life having done what he did. But with that in mind, it's not always 100% sure that the murderer that we're convicting is in fact the murderer. And since 1993, there have been 18 cases where DNA testing has proven the accused innocent. One of the 18 cases was Ronald Jones, and Ronald Jones was mentally handicapped, and he sat on death row for 12 years because he confessed to the murder and rape of a young woman. And 9 days before he was put to death, he was found innocent due to DNA testing that prior wasn't available because he was sentenced in 1966. And technology's come so far since then, we were able to prove that he was innocent. Another man named Earl Washington, incredibly similar. He also was mentally handicapped, and he confessed to something that he didn't do. And then because of that, he was sentenced to death row, and he actually was murdered. And they found out later that he was not, in fact, the murderer that they thought he was. With these examples, it's hard to say that everyone that we kill on death row truly deserves to be murdered. It's, whether it's lethal injection or the gas chamber or the electric chair, we're taking someone's life. And the Eighth Amendment says that we will not, we're not going to inflict cruel or unusual punishment on our citizens as Americans. That's one of our rights. But if you've ever seen anyone in the electric chair or in a gas chamber or given lethal injection, that is in fact cruel and it's painful. It's not as painless as people like to say. Here I have a clip over Ted Bundy. They said, he was a serial killer and he was supposed to be put to death, and I totally agree with that. But this kind of shows you what he went through and what every other person who's ever been given the electric chair goes through. Now, obviously, this is just a movie, and there was a lot of, cinematic dramatization given to the event. But with that said, it's painful. Reading reports from what was, said by doctors who had to give the cause of death, they all said that they can't imagine it not being excruciatingly painful, which is violating our Eighth Amendment rights. Now, as American citizens, we were given the right to change what we have a problem with. We're able to vote. We're able to elect people who have the same views and ideas as us, and those people are supposed to give us what we want. They are supposed to make the changes that we feel necessary. If we're able to outlaw capital punishment, then we're able to change the view that other nations have on America. People all around the world were seen as a bloodthirsty nation because we get involved in wars that we don't belong in, and we involve ourselves in other people's problems. And by doing that, as well as capital punishment, we're only reinforcing the idea. If we're able to outlaw this, then we're able to show other nations that we are not the barbarians that everyone likes to think we are. We have one of the highest standards of living, and we need to show why. We're a nation of good people, and we need to make a change. Mahatma Gandhi said that an eye for an eye makes the world blind. And personally, I don't want to live in a blind